Hello and welcome to the course. My name is Brad Merrill and I will be your instructor. This course is all you can use it to build beautiful, functional websites for yourself or for clients without writing a single line of code. What I hope to give you here is a comprehensive step-by-step guide to the ins and outs of WordPress. And by the end, you should feel comfortable building virtually any type of website, opening the door to all kinds of future projects. I've been using WordPress for well over a decade. My businesses rely on it. And I would argue it's the single best solution for building almost any type of website in today's world. The software itself is completely free. It's extensible with a world of free themes and plugins. And it doesn't require a lot of technical knowledge to get started. If you can use a computer, you can build a website with WordPress. WordPress is the most popular content management system in the world, and it powers more than 40% of all sites on the web. Just to give you some examples, here are some people and brands you've probably heard of whose websites are powered by WordPress. So we've got TechCrunch, The Wall Street Journal, Forbes, TED, the NFL, UPS, CNN, the New York Times, Harvard Business Review, PlayStation, Mercedes-Benz, Coca-Cola, Beyonce, Usain Bolt, Snoop Dogg, Katy Perry, and many, many others. As you can see, you'll be in great company if you use WordPress for your next website. And by the way, just to be clear, it doesn't matter if you're getting ready to build your first website ever, or if you've been doing it for years. WordPress is friendly to all levels of experience. In this course, we're going to start with the absolute basics of WordPress so you can get a feel for how it all works. I'll walk you through every step of the process of building a website, and you'll see exactly how to customize not only the appearance of your site, but the functionality as well. So whether you just want to build a simple blog or something like an e-commerce store with dozens of products, you'll learn everything you need to know in this course. Once you've mastered the basics of WordPress, we're going to dive into an example project where I'll be building a website in front of you from scratch, and you can follow along with that if you want. And by the way, if you're just here to learn WordPress and you don't need to build a live site just yet, I'll show you how you can install and run WordPress on your own personal computer so you don't have to spend any money on web hosting or a domain name. So with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? One of the big questions that often comes up when people are first getting into WordPress is, what is the difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com? They are different things, which I know is just incredibly confusing. So I definitely want to take a moment to address this and hopefully put this question to bed once and for all before we get into the actual course material. So WordPress.com, which we're looking at here, is a fully hosted service that you can sign up for to build a blog or a website without having to manage the underlying technology yourself. WordPress.org, on the other hand, is home to the free WordPress software that you can install on your own web server. Now, there are pros and cons to both of these systems, and I've seen a lot of different explanations, but none of them illustrates the point quite as well as this old blog post from the Daily Post blog on WordPress.com. So I'm just going to read this excerpt for you, and hopefully this should get the point across. So it says, having a blog or website here on WordPress.com is a bit like renting an apartment in a complex. You don't have to worry about the pipes freezing in winter. You don't have to mow the backyard.
After a reign of hideous terror spanning more than a century, the king of the undead was finally traced to his lair high in the Carpathian Mountains. Through decades, many had sought to destroy him, all in vain. Here at last was an adversary armed with sufficient knowledge of the ways of the vampire to bring about the final and absolute destruction. This then was his fate. Thousands had been enslaved by the obscene cult of vampirism. Now the fountainhead himself perished. Only the memory remained. The memory of the most evil and terrible creature who ever set his seal on civilization.